Hey, what's going on, guys? Elliott and Morgan here for Movie Files, back at you with another review, and this time is for Ready Player One, which, if you guys look at the tapes, it was your dark horse, I believe, in 2018,
yeah.
And I was very excited for it as well. So, for you guys that don't know, this movie is directed by the great, the GOAT, Steven Spielberg. It was written by Zach Penn, as well as the author of the 2011 book, which this movie is based on, Ernest Cline. So before we get into the review, and again, this is a spoiler-free review for you guys, so we won't give anything away. What was your, again, I know this is on your list, but were you, I know that the trailer didn't really work for you. Where were you at before going to the
So here is where the film began for me. Elliott actually got this book at the library last year. And that's where it was introduced to me. I was like, what is this book? Because we were reading a lot of like self-development, and this was kind of off key. So I was like, what is this? Spoiler alert, he didn't finish the book.
Yeah, I got it, read page 1, and just like came about.
He got back into his self-development. But anyway, that's where I was introduced to it. And then kind of saw trailers and things like that. And then when we did our most anticipated for the year, I felt that this movie was going to do really well in the box office. I thought it was going to be, you know, a really great movie, but I wasn't personally excited whatsoever. I'm not a gamer. I'm not, I don't know. I like what I like.
I agree with her. I feel like some of the promotion pieces were okay. It was just not landing with me. But I'm here to tell you guys right now, I guess we can fast forward to then. We really enjoyed this movie. We saw it on Easter Sunday with her parents. We were in Kentucky. We went to go see it. So I kind of had some, you know, Easter and the eggs.
The Easter egg,
it was just all perfectly wrapped together in a bow. So let's get into this review. So let's touch a little bit about the story. So again, if you guys don't know, this is based on a 2011 book, which is crazy. I thought it was like made much more.
Yeah, I thought it was like the 80s.
No, it was in 2011. So, you know, again, this kind of follows this the story of you got Tye Sheridan. Also, it stars Tye Sheridan. You have Olivia Cooke, Ben Mendelsohn,
Lena Waithe.
So you have a really good cast there, and it basically just follows Ty's character. What was his name? Wade, I believe Wade Watts. As you see in the commercial, he goes into this OASIS, which is like this 3D dimensional world where you can be whoever you want, and then things kind of pursue where you have this Steve Jobs character that passes away, and he lets people know that these 3 keys you have to get. Again, you guys see the trailer, so you're pretty much familiar with the story. So let's just jump right into the positives. First, for me, it was engaging throughout. This is a 2.5-hour movie, and I was engaged from the very beginning all the way to the very end, which is a positive I can just think of right off the bat. As well as this has that magic. I don't know if you... It's been I can't think of the last Steven Spielberg movie that had just that it factor. You know, I think of Jaws and E.T. and Indiana Jones. But this is what movies are about. It has the magic and just fun, and you just feel happy. You have a blast with it. So those 2 things off top. I'll let you rattle off some things, but I think it's some other positives. There's a lot in this movie.
While you say that, you know, I really think that this movie was so relatable in a lot of ways. I think there were a lot of parallels with today's world, if you will.
We're attached to
and
it, for sure.
The addiction, and you know, being someone else or portraying as someone else on social media and things like that. So I think the parallels really engaged us even more so than a movie like E.T. You know, you can't really relate to that necessarily. But it was really magical, and we saw it in 3D, and I really feel that's the way to see it. You felt like you were a player in the game, and it was really
immersive
cool.
Film, which was awesome. And another thing too, which I thought was interesting they did, was they brought the writer of the book. Again, I didn't finish the book, but they brought, you know, Ernest Cline to the screenwrite, which sometimes doesn't translate well because you have the 2 different mediums. You have book versus someone that writes film. So and again, I haven't read the book. From what I heard, some people actually prefer the movie's adaptation versus the book. So that was another positive. I feel like it was just, it brought the elements from what I heard from the book, as well as changed things up with Spielberg type of, you know, flavor. And it was just great to me. I mean, there's a particular scene, I won't give it away, but there's a horror movie scene in there that just played out so beautifully. And then again, guys, I mean, we'll be talking for hours. So many Easter eggs.
They played homage to a lot of really great movies, characters, musicians, artists. So it was just all around very nostalgic themes, which I think that's, you know, definitely why I connected with it. Although some of those things I probably wasn't even alive for.
I mean, again, and Morgan actually says she's not a video gamer, but there were still things you can relate to.
It was so much fun. Like watching it in 3D, I I'm so glad we went and saw it in 3D, and I'm glad we went and saw it in general. I mean, I wasn't excited, but I thought it was a great film.
Yeah, and I mean, the characters for me, and just kind of talking some more positives, I thought, Wade Watts by Tye's character was great. Olivia Cooke, she's just one of my favorite actors right now.
She's a lot of fun.
Such a great character
and
in this movie.
It's kind of like a group of friends, if you will, that meet in the Oasis, and they all gelled really well together,
really,
and it was cool because when you were seeing their characters, you didn't even know who they were in real life. Aside from Wade Watts, that's the only one we knew, but they really gelled well together, and the chemistry was really there, and I really enjoyed that friendship aspect and sticking together kind of thing. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this movie, and you guys have heard the parallels. Goonies meets Jurassic Park meets. I mean, it has so many great elements. Like you said, the characters really made this film. And one of my hesitations was, I going into this film, I thought I was going to be more invested in the Oasis, which I was. I love the visuals, which we'll talk about a little bit here. But also, when you went back to Columbus, Ohio, which might not be the most fun place in the world, but you still felt for the characters when they were in their human form and not their avatars, which I thought worked really well. Again, the chemistry of all the characters is great. Which touched on my next point, which was the visuals. When you did jump into the Oasis, it was some groundbreaking visual effects in this film. So
I even said this to Elliott. I was like, obviously we can't go into the future, but I think this movie is going to age really well going forward. Definitely. I thought that it was really beautifully done, very cool. I was impressed.
Yeah, I mean, it goes to Steven being the greatest of all time. Right. I mean, Jurassic Park came out in the 90s, and it still looks better than some of the movies I've seen today, and E.T. and Indiana Jones, and I mean, he just has that. He knows what, I mean, and this is crazy when you think about it. This man last 5 or 6 films has been more biopics, The Post, Lincoln. It's just crazy that he's able to shoot a movie like The Post that came out in December and then in March come out with it's just incredible. I mean, again, it just goes to him being the greatest of all time. So kind of going into our overall thoughts, finishing up here, I thought this movie was a love letter, like you said, to the 70s, to the 80s, where pop culture really became, as you brought up, some musicians and movies and things, and just certain things that we kind of 20, 40 years later, we're still loving that particular era. I mean, I'm a 90s kid, she's a 90s kid, but there's a lot of stuff that went down in the 80s. And this is a love letter to those people that did grow up.
Well, and it's even things like, I just think like some of the music that was even played, like I remember playing throughout my house as a child, things that my dad listened to, and there's just such a connection there. I think that we can all connect with, even if we weren't in that decade. And this is a multi-generational
film. Again, I had a blast with this film. I really thought that everything really worked. Again, it's a 2.5-hour movie, and it felt short to me. It was just a breeze.
Although my dad fell asleep, but he falls asleep in every movie.
It was some really good seats too. But anyway, overall, I enjoyed this film. I've given it a 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Again, the characters, the Oasis, the callbacks. There's a particular scene that I loved in this film. If I were to be a nitpicker or pick something out, the villain was just kind of there. Ben Mendelsohn, I cannot say his name tonight, but he's typecast. He's always a villain. The Dark Knight. He was in the Dark Knight movie, Dark Knight Rises. He's a villain in Rogue One. He's going to be a villain in Captain Marvel. So he's typecasted. And I thought that his kind of the bow, towards the end, kind of the convenience of how they wrapped up the villain storyline. Whatever, that's just nitpicking. 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed this film.
I have to echo that. So I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 as well. And I do have to agree with Elliott on the villain. But that is just being nitpicky. There are plenty of movies where the villain doesn't have any real end game or goal. Or like,
at the end of the day, we enjoyed the good characters and seeing where their journey landed. And again, and also too, shout out to T.J. Miller. He has a role in this film. I forgot he was in this movie, and I like that we had never seen T.J. Miller in the film like his actual self, and he did a really good job in the film too. So all in all, guys, 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5 for
so much fun. Go see it. Go see it in 3D.
If you have the option to see it in 3D at your local theater, take advantage of it.
Opportunity.
But again, if you don't, the 2D, I would imagine is still pretty great. It's definitely a day one buy for us. Highly recommend it. Check it out. But we would love to know what you guys thought of the film. If you've seen it, comment below, like, share this video, as well as follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Stardust, Facebook, all that's in the description. So make sure to follow us there to continue this conversation.
Yeah, get in the Oasis with us.
Get in the Oasis with us for sure. So some things to keep an eye out for. We got some more reviews coming up in the pipeline for you guys, so keep an eye out for that. And as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Again, subscribe to our page so you can get some more content from us, and we'll see you guys in the next video.